If you thought you knew, you have no idea about me.
Okay, let's start off with Euphoria. Beautiful song, soulful. The lyrics show us still gentlemen out there in the world. What was your inspiration when you wrote the song?
My inspiration came from just the state of music. It was a lot of recording artists. They don't cater to or cater to even respect what a woman think, how a woman feel. And with me growing up with women, that's all that I know. So for years I've been asked, Doug, why don't you make music and make something to express how a man feel? That's always missing in music. So it took a long time for me to write it, because my music is a reflection of my life. So based off of my experiences, I wrote it based on that feeling that you get when your woman's taking care of you.
Okay, and that's the new single for the album, right?
That's gonna be the lead-off single from my album called By Any Means.
I know Euphoria is the new single, but where did it all start? Like, when did you actually start writing, wanting to be a rapper?
You mean when did
you start rapping?
Wow. I believe I started recording music, or I started rapping in high school. High school was when when you go to school, you stand outside, everyone's chilling, and you got a little cypher over there. So it basically started off right around 2000, 2001. I had many names back then, but I don't care to share those. But it's just, I had many names back then. And as you grow and as you learn how to write music, you continue to write and you continue to grow. So thus, now I'm the BFyre.
Okay, so it all started with a cypher.
It all started off with a computer mic, and a couple of programs.
When you first started out rapping, who was your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter was probably the crew that I ran with. It was me, my boy BFyre, and a couple other people, my boy Quote. So those were the supporters then, and the support system is still there now. So, but like I would say, besides my immediate team, I would say my pops. He knows and he listens to everything that I do, and he'll tell me when something is off, something is wrong. I think you should change that. It's not a good look.
And you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
No, I live in Brooklyn.
You live in Brooklyn. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the Lower East Side of
the Lower East Side.
Yes, Lower East Side.
So speaking of where you grew up, Around My Way, I know you wrote it years ago, but I was listening to it earlier, and it was one line that struck me. He said, "The street will suffocate you."
Broke niggas won't breathe right.
So I'm curious, the streets will suffocate you. So how did you survive the streets? Like mentally, how did you make it out and not do, what majority of males your age would do?
The streets will suffocate you. Broke niggas don't breathe right.
I mean, I grew up where I didn't have to really be in the street. I grew up in church. I grew up having a church upbringing. My mother's a minister, but I went to school in the hood. I everything I did was there. I played basketball in the hood, I probably smoked my first cigarette in the hood, rolled my first L in the hood, whatever. Everything was there. So all the elements that the streets had, I was involved with it. I just didn't have enough patience to fully put myself there and say, yo, I'm in the street, I'm in the hood. No, I never liked this to be there. I was just there, my friends was there, or people who I grew up was there. So the streets will suffocate you came from just me seeing the desperation that comes in the street. When you watch friends of yours, you know, all they talk about is money, 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 and then they invest so much time in standing outside and doing whatever they have to do just to make some money to get fresh. And then you see them years later and they got locked up, you know, they come home and then they repeat the cycle all over again. There's no growth, you know what I'm saying? So in that sense, you're suffocating yourself when you put yourself in that cycle. Me, I didn't have to be there. My parents put me in a whole bunch of programs where it exposed me to how wide a range life can be. You know, so, you know, yo, I have to get this money, you know, and then they get money and then they do exactly nothing with it. Rather me, I'd rather invest money. I'd rather, you know, go buy some books, learn how to build a business, you know, learn how to start companies. So the streets will suffocate you if you let it. So when I wrote the line, I was just trying to capture the heart of what goes on in the street without me saying, well, I did this, I did that.
When you first started rapping to where you are right now today, is there a difference?
It's a major difference. I'm an 80s baby. You know, I'm still 21, you know, but what's missing now is no one's making albums. People are just making songs and then putting them in a collection, and that's it. Everything's about music. Everything's about money, making money. As far as content, there's no one's really saying much. Everything is pop, bottles, pop, 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 and there's no message. So Euphoria is a message. It's a message from the man talking to his woman, saying, this is how you make me feel. It's this feeling. It's so amazing. I'm elevated in the air. Ain't no feeling like that.
Let's talk about your influence in the music industry. In the future, let's say 5 years from now, how do you want your music to have changed upcoming rappers who trying to do what you do?
I want my influence to be don't have to hide who you are. You know, you don't have to be or look like a rapper in order to be a rapper. You know, like you don't have to immediately go and get the biggest chain, go and put some grills in your mouth, you know, go get all these tattoos everywhere, and then come to me and talk about you're a rapper. What if your career doesn't jump off? Now you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I want my influence to just be like I don't want to have to get so big and then I can't come around. Like I want people to know me, whereas they can come up to me and talk to me. I want to remain the most humblest person that anyone has known who's in the recording industry. So, you know, that's it. And the way I feel like you get there is you remain humble. My influence needs to be that you don't have to change yourself or be anyone else besides yourself. You have to remain yourself. You don't have to throw the shades on every time you rap. Come on, you know, remain yourself. That's it.
One word to describe your style.
Elegant.
Elegant, I like that.
Elegant. Let's make a toast.